Hey everybody, today on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make Persian stuffed capsicums. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so I'll be doing this recipe based on 4 capsicums. If you want to make more, you just need to double, triple, quadruple the recipe and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is cook our split peas. So just into a bowl here, I've got 1/3 of a cup of yellow split peas. I've just washed it. Now we just need to drain that and add it straight into a small pot. And we just want to cover this up with some water. Now we're doing these first because they will take the longest to cook. So we'll go straight to our stove. And we just want to cook our split peas for about 20 minutes until they're nice and tender. And while we're waiting, we'll move on with the rest. So I've just brought across 1 brown onion. And all we want to do with our onion is very finely dice it. After your onion's done, I've just bring across half a handful of parsley and about 1/4 handful of fresh mint. And we need to chop these finely as well. Just like so. So at this point we'll move on to our stove, and just into a small pot we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once your oil's hot, we're going to add our onion straight in. And we just want to cook our onion until it's nice and soft. Once your onions have softened up, we're going to add in about 300 grams of lamb mince. Now you can also do this with beef mince, that's just up to you. Now we just want to season our mince with a pinch of salt. And about half a teaspoon of black pepper. Once your mince has started to brown, we're going to turn our heat to low to medium. We're going to add in about 2 crushed garlic cloves. We'll add in our chopped fresh mint and parsley. About half a teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1 teaspoon of mild curry powder, 1/4 teaspoon of ground chilli. I personally like to add 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. This gives it a somewhat sweetness. And of course we'll add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg as well, because nutmeg and cinnamon go well together. And we just want to mix that all together. And that's coming together very nicely. So what I'm going to do at this stage is add in 1 can of chopped tomatoes, along with 1 big tablespoon of tomato paste, and we want to mix that together as well. Now the reason I add the tomatoes is it stops it from being too dry. We don't want this too dry. Next I'm just going to add in 1/2 cup of basmati rice. Now this is raw and I've just washed it only. We want to mix that through as well. And we're going to top this all up with about 1/2 cup of chicken stock. Obviously that rice is going to absorb the juice. We don't want it to absorb too much, so we add the chicken stock. Now just give that a good mix. And we just want to let this simmer for about 5 minutes while we wait for our split peas to finish cooking. So what we're going to do now is get our capsicums ready. So you want to get each one. We need to cut the tops off. Now don't cut it too thin because we'll cut the stem off. We want the stem on it still. So we'll go a little bit lower, so just around about here. And just cut straight through. Just like that, so it opens up and the stem stays intact. You want to take that out. And we want to try and get all the seeds out as well. So just tap it on your board. Just like so. Same with the lid. So that's one ready. And you want to continue that with all your capsicums. Okay, so I've just added our split peas into our meat mixture. As you can see, they're all nice and tender. So we're going to set this aside for now. Now just into a pot here, I've put in 1.5 cups of chicken stock with 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. This will act as our sauce. We don't want to put the capsicums into an empty pot because they're just going to go dry. So what we're going to do is get our capsicums and we want to fill them up with our mixture. Just like so. Now we don't want to go all the way to the top because the rice is going to cook. When it cooks, it's going to rise. So we don't want it to go too high. Now we'll simply put the lid on like so and put it straight into our pot. And we'll just continue with all our capsicums. So that's how our capsicums look now, so we're ready to cook that. As for our mixture, I've only got about 1 table or 2 tablespoons left over. So that is just dependent on the size of your capsicums. These ones were medium size. With the leftovers, feel free to just snack on it while our capsicums cook. So this step's very straightforward. Straight onto our stove on a low to medium heat. Lid on. Now this will take about 40 minutes to about 50 minutes to cook. So we'll come back then and see how they look. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes so far. So we'll open it up and have a look. And just look at that. Most of our sauce is evaporated, but look at how nice and soft and tender our capsicums are. Take one of the lids off. As you can see, the inside is nice and cooked. So what we're going to do at this point is turn our heat off. And you want to keep the lid on until you serve it to keep it hot. And there we have it, guys. And just look at how beautiful that looks. Now it is best to serve this straight away, but you can refrigerate it and then heat it back up later. I hope you like that, guys. Please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Snapchat. If you have any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom and I'll see you all next time.